This is the 10th year of Pro Organizer Studio, which is crazy. And I am so excited to be bringing a lot of new things. We're always evolving and changing and adapting and pivoting and all the things. And one of the things that I have done, which I've talked about a little bit, is I have started to build my own team here at Inspired Organizer and at Pro Organizer Studio. And Cabri is a huge part of that. I've had Cabri on the podcast a billion times. And, we've told bits and pieces of her story, but I wanted to make sure that when you hear her talking and when you hear what we are talking about, you know who she is, what kind of entrepreneur she is, what kind of businesses she likes to build, and what kind of an organizer she is, all those things. But this is also an invitation to you that we would love for you to join one of the things that she is leading, which is our Inspired Organizer Teams program. And this is a combination, like all of our things, of actual roadmaps, to-dos, all of the things that you need to actually build a team that makes $500,000 or more a year in revenue. We have lots of people in our group that do that on the regular, which is pretty awesome. But it also is a community where you can come and talk about anything you have going on in your team, the hard stuff, the good stuff, and everything in between. Cabri runs her own team, is a multi-business entrepreneur, and she brings so much to the table, both here at Pro Organizer Studio and out in her community. So I just want to reintroduce Cabri. And if you go to proorganizerstudio.com/links, you can find all of the information you need about joining us in our Teams program, because we would love to have you. All right, let's get started with Cabri. You kind of realize sometimes that you just are around and you just assume that everybody knows everything about you. And in fact, you find out that they don't. And you're like, oh, I thought you knew that I have a llama farm or whatever. I don't have a llama farm, but that would actually be really fun.
If you just randomly sprung that on us and none of us knew, oh my God.
Yeah, I would. I mean, that sounds great. So maybe I'll do that as my next career. But I kind of realized that about you, Cabri, my dear
Like,
friend, and huge part of what we do at Pro Organizer Studio. And I was like, okay, people are going to be hearing from you a lot more on the podcast because you are an actual formal part of the Pro Organizer Studio machine. And I just wanted to do the reintroduction of you because I have you on all the time, but I think there are a lot of things about you that people don't know that I know. So,
well, thanks. Are we gonna tell all my secrets?
yes, we
Okay.
are.
Okay,
Yes.
love. Ready for it.
This is like Jerry Springer.
Be careful what you wish for.
No, we won't go that deep, but everyone knows, I mean, I think everyone knows that you are the head of Minimize Then Organize in Lubbock, Texas. I feel like I say that a lot, the head of Minimize and Organize in Lubbock, Texas. But there's a lot of other super interesting stuff about you that is why you are such a huge part of Pro Organizer Studio and a huge part of the success of the people we have in our group. And I do want to just start out by saying this week we had 2 Zooms with our groups. We had one Zoom for our Teams group and then one Zoom just for our regular Inspired Organizer group. And it was really heartwarming because a lot of people had kind of a really tough start to the year. And now we have people who are like, someone had 35 consults in April. Someone else had their first ever $50,000 month. We have a solo organizer who had her first $12,000 month. And there's just a lot of people experiencing a lot of success, and I love celebrating that. But I really do want to give a lot of credit to you specifically, because one of the things I love about you is that you're, first of all, genuinely so entrepreneurial, and you also have just a great way of pushing people in the best possible way and really celebrating people. And I really think that some of our people who have had that success is because of things that you have done. So I just want to give you your flowers, or whatever they say, whatever the
Well,
youths say.
thank you. I
Yeah.
can't help but think of Tina Fey in Mean Girls when you're like, you just pushed people. And I'm like, I'm a pusher. I'll tell people that though. Like, it's a real thing. Like,
Right.
it's a gift.
But we've talked about it before on this podcast where you're like, hey, I'm gonna push you a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little tough love. And the best part is that you do it to me, you do it to other people. But again, it's in the best way. It's saying, hey, these are your expectations, and I think you can raise those expectations.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about like how did that develop in you? Take us in the Wayback Machine and tell us about your entrepreneurial journey.
Okay, so I don't really know where that came from, if I'm being honest. And I don't know if I fully recognized it until we had mentors in the group. And when we start, I don't even remember exactly when that was,
It was like
2020, 21.
2020. It
Okay.
was like early 2020, I think.
Well, okay, so like when that happened and I came on to be a mentor in Pro Organizer Studio, Carly Adams and Sarah Brandt were also mentors, still are, Sarah is. It was one of those that we all, like as a group of three, we all took different approaches. And it was not till I was in that group of three that I was like, oh, I'm kind of the mean one. Like I'm kind of the one that like I'm yelling at you and I'm a little aggressive. And some people respond really well to that, other people do not. And so it was kind of also like gauging other people's character on is that received well?
Yeah.
Is Sarah's like very, I would say she's a little tough love too, but in a totally different way. Like she's gonna
Yeah.
approach it with you in a much softer way. Not me. That's not my preferred brand of crazy, but I don't know. I don't think I realized it till then. So like recognizing that I'm this pusher, this cheerleader, this I'm going to believe in you maybe even a little bit more than you believe in yourself is really
That's
still
it.
it's still kind of a newer thing. Like I've been doing it for a couple of years, but I don't know if that technically applies to the whole history, for being honest.
Okay. Well, but that nails it totally. I believe in you more than you believe in you. And
Yes.
you always say that it's that you're tough love or you're, kind of a pusher, but like it's not in a way I do not respond well to that usually. And from you, it is totally different. It's always done in a non-critical way. It's literally just, no, no, I want you to aim higher. I
Hmm.
want you to want more for yourself. So it's not like you're doing it wrong. I think you're just trying to say to people, oh, I think you need to dream bigger.
Hmm.
And that to me, that comes across really well. And I'm
Yeah.
not usually someone who would respond to that positively.
Well, thank you. I also am not one. Like when you're constantly the pusher, like it's really hard for people to push me. And I get, oh man, if you come at me with an idea or a challenge, like challenging a limiting belief that I have, it's hard. Like I'm gonna be pissy for a couple days and I'm gonna
Yeah.
maybe even shut down. And then once I get through the fog of, okay, that's actually a really good idea, or maybe I am not believing in myself as much as these other people do, then it's, oh man, that's actually really endearing that they care that much.
Well, and I think that you really have a great way of reframing things to people too about, well, did you think about this? And did you think about this? And that's something that I think entrepreneurs have to do. You have to think about things differently.
I
And
also think like when we're constantly in our businesses, like we're too close. Like we need to step outside. We need to get outside of our own body, out of our own business. I saw this thing on TikTok last night that said, "Honey, you're icing the cake and the kitchen's burning down." And I think
yeah,
that it applies to a lot of people because we're so
yeah,
focused on we have to ice the cake. But when all hell is breaking loose around us, and it's like, no, that thing that you're so hyper focused on is not actually the thing that's going to move the needle, push things forward. It's not the problem you need to be solving. It's good to have someone that can kind of be like, oh, take a step back. Let's
yeah.
rethink this for just 2 seconds. Take a breather. And so that's kind of a, I don't know, silver lining too.
I just like the way your thought processes work too, because like we were on a call last night with our group, and someone was talking about something great that was happening to them, or maybe it's earlier this week. It really doesn't matter. And someone was talking about something great that was happening to them, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, that's so exciting! That's so great!" And you were like, "Wait a minute, have you thought about blah 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 blah? Tell us how you got there." Because you were looking for, it's not just, hey, this person got to a $50,000 a month. How did they get there so that you can go help other people do that same thing? And that, whereas I was just like, ooh, let's just celebrate the thing. You're like, wait, let's dig down in the thing and figure out how we did the thing. And then everybody else can do the same thing. And that I think that's something that I particularly love about what you bring to our group.
Oh, well, thank you. I've never tested high. Like if you ever did Strength Finder or anything like that, like
Mhm.
I never tested high in strategic type thinking,
Oh,
But
yeah.
with ADHD, I do have a strong pattern recognition. And so for me, it's more of, oh, we just keep having these wins. Let's recreate them
Yeah.
for other people too. But then also, I don't even remember who that was last night, but they just casually just breezed on of, oh yeah, we just did this thing. And I'm like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
actually a
Oh,
really big thing that if you continue to do, like you just crossed a threshold of compound interest in you, in your business, in your skills, in the way that you're going to operate. And so, yeah, no, we're not just going to brush that off. We're going to actually, we need to take a minute and draw attention. So,
yeah. Okay. So to give us, I'm getting ahead of myself per usual. Take us back to like kind of your origin story of entrepreneurship.
okay.
Because I think a lot of us
So,
kind of fell into it
yeah,
accidentally.
that's
And
fair. I have a very weird story. Imagine 18-year-old Cabri not knowing, like, we're going to talk in third person. Okay. So just,
okay,
yes, we're going to like fully
you're out of
dive
body.
into the
Got it.
crazy. 18-year-old me, I had applied to colleges, at that graduating high school phase, just didn't feel the vibe, like as bad as that sounds. Not that I don't think I could do it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the rational side of me was like, why am I going to spend all this money for an undecided general degree? And
It's
I could just go
very
make money.
expensive if you do
Yeah.
not know what you want to do.
Yes. I was like, I could just go make money. And so I actually got started in retail, oddly enough. Like I said, I would never do that. Did retail. I was in retail for about 3 years between a big box retailer and then a tanning salon. And like, I know I've talked about the tanning salon because
Yes.
that's where Lara and I met and became friends. Like I was tanning there when she was working there, and then I was ready to leave, and she was like, "Come be my assistant manager." And I'm like, "Bet, let's do this." And so I would like to say like Lara is actually really responsible for a lot of my like sales training. I think that's one of those things like I didn't put emphasis and focus on. And I realize now at, 30 something years old, like sales is everything.
Oh,
Sales
it
is
is.
like going to a job interview. Sales is like owning your own business. Sales is how you carry yourself in networking. Like sales is everything. And so if I had known then what I know now, like I would have gone into some sort of sales position, hands down. I'm not
Yeah.
typically like a salesperson, definitely more introverted. I'm not a high pressure sales person. It's so incorporated into every single aspect of your life in some form or fashion, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah. Well, we'll give people a quick definition. This is like when I read a book and they have a who's who. Laura is your right-hand woman in Minimize Then Organize. You are the CEO. Yeah, I mean, you're the owner, but she is the person who kind of runs day to day Minimize Then Organize, and she's incredibly important to you.
Yes.
But I do want to talk about the idea like what you're talking about in terms of sales, because I think people hear that word and they're like, oh, it's the S word. I don't want to be salesy. And I think when we hear the word sales, because I've done sales, like I have in corporate positions been in sales, and I think that there's this like sleazy connotation of used car salesman of what do I have to do to get you in this car today? And that is not it. Sales, you have totally nailed it. That sales is every single thing you do in your business. It is how you present yourself. You might call that marketing, but it's actually really sales. You
Hmm.
are presenting yourself out. You are presenting yourself as, I'm ready to come into your house. I'm ready to come into your personal spaces. That takes a huge commitment, and it takes a lot of trust for someone to let you in there. And you're always selling, even if you're not actually saying, let me ask you, are you ready to start organizing? Are you ready to give me a big check? Are you ready to hand over your credit card?
Yep.
Always selling.
Yep. Well, and I think it even applies to like you as a human. I mean, you're
Oh,
selling
yeah.
yourself like to your friends and your own personal brand of just
Yeah.
they should know what to expect out of you. If something happens, like I know Laura is going to be the person that's going to have cupcakes sitting on the front porch by the time I get home. Like that is her
Yeah.
personal brand. I'm not like that. I'm more likely to send you Venmo and be like, I don't know how to help, but buy dinner
Yeah.
or go get cupcakes or like a bottle of wine, whatever. And so it just, I don't know, it applies to everything, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really does. One of the things we talk about in our group a lot is just the confidence level too. It's hard sometimes to be confident or to have that sales mentality, but faking it to some degree until you start to feel it, I think is something that happens. There is a little bit of an X factor, but I also think you can build those muscles just like you build anything else in your business. But it all comes back to that confidence factor.
Absolutely. And I think it sounds crazy, but there's a little bit of like delusion there because you just kind of wander around life, like just treating people nice. Like it, exudes confidence, whether you realize it or not. We were talking about on the call last night, someone had a very prominent attorney, I guess, in their area. And it's if you just walk in and you're just kind of, oh, love this house. It's so beautiful. You're gonna unnerve them essentially or unarm them. But I don't know. I think people love that too when they're just it would be awkward if I walked into someone's house. I'm like, oh my gosh, how are you? You're so important. I see your billboard.
Yeah,
It's just totally two different energies.
absolutely. Okay, so you did the retail thing, kind of got your sales chops built up. What happened after that?
Okay, so this is pivotal, and I didn't even realize it until like way later. Decided to leave sales and retail, just wanted to change the pace. And also like money. I mean,
Yeah.
there was other opportunities. And so I started working at a corporate office here in Lubbock. It was a small trucking company, which I don't tell people this a lot because I was like, those are two totally different worlds.
Oh yeah.
I was in safety and risk management. I dealt with like workers' comp claims, accident auto, like all the safety stuff, like hours of service. I helped kind of in our fleet department with maintenance records. And so basically, my job was like if shit hit the fan and DOT auditors came in, like I needed to have everything buttoned up. And so, one, I literally lost years off of my life in the four
No.
years I was
Yeah.
there because I was in my early 20s. Like, I just I don't think I realized the emotional toll that job would take on me. And it wasn't actually till we had a truck accident that was a fatality and I had to fly to Houston. I had to do the scans and talk to the driver and go get drug screens with them and like just do all the things. And I was done. Like at 20,
Yeah.
21 years old, like I I did not feel equipped. I did not feel like I had the authority. I was exhausted and burnt out. And so that was that. But one of the cool things that I learned, like this is a little mom and pop corporate operation essentially. They had a lot of like updates, both personnel and software wise. And so whenever I came in, I'm just looking at things with fresh eyes, which is kind of nice in that realm. But also my brain is, wait, why do we have this person sitting in this office that's doing this thing, compiling this report for 10 hours a week when there's this button over here that you could press and it would, create a CSV in 3 seconds? Some people don't like those questions.
They don't. They really
They
don't.
don't. They don't. And
Nope.
so we actually, over the course of 2.5, 3 years, we reduced personnel staff within the corporate office by over 50% just from some of those conversations. I wouldn't say like I'm super big on efficiency, but in that specific industry, you are fighting for pennies when it comes to margin. And it's no, you cannot be paying all these extra salaries here. I would have loved, man, I don't even think about this sometimes until like I'm having conversations like this. I would have loved to see that business operate in the age of AI. It was not an opportunity then. It was not a thing. But just in the couple of years that I was there, the changes that happened, like it would
Sure.
be mind boggling to see that now. So,
Yeah.
real big on efficiency, real big on is this even worthwhile and necessary? Do we need these kind of things? Do we need these positions? That was kind of my role. And so essentially, I was decluttering a corporate office without even realizing it and having any knowledge. At the same time, I bought an RV. I mentioned money, right? I bought an RV to live in full time. You got
You
to
were
get
early to the van life trend.
Yes. Well, and I didn't move it around. Like it was very long
Yeah.
term,
Right. Yeah.
but it was a way cheap cost of living at early
Sure.
20s. And you're still kind of in that phase of, I don't know what I want to do or who I want to be, or, I keep saying what I want to do when I grow up. So it was super cheap. I was like, I'm going to save money. I'm going to do all this stuff. Well, that actually ended up being like a beautiful saving grace because one, if you're living in an RV, you naturally have to be a minimalist unless you just have
Yeah.
storage units all over the countryside. Like I was in 350 square feet with a
Yeah.
dog, much
Yeah.
less. You just have to get very like, at one point, oh my God, I shouldn't tell you this. At one point, I was working on consignment for a client and all of her shit was piled up in my very teeny tiny living room. I had to move boxes over to sit on the couch and watch TV. And I'm like, okay, it was a little much. And I was like, okay, I don't think I like this anymore. So did that for a while. And that's where the minimalism side came from. And I was like, I actually enjoy, which I've talked about this on my blog personally. I grew up in a family of hoarders. Like I still fight that fight every single day, like with my mother and the whole thing. But it was freeing. For the first time, I didn't have to have all these things. Like I didn't care about them. I was not defined by them. And so that was really exciting. And so casually, of course, burnout from safety, risk management, trucking industry world. Someone casually mentioned they're like, you'd be like really good at this, professional organizer thing. And I was like, wait, what? People will pay me to do this?
Yeah. Do you
And
remember who it was that said it to you?
I did. I call him a
Okay.
friend a lot, but he was actually an ex-boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, that's it.
Interesting. Okay,
I
a
know.
man got you into this. That is fascinating.
Yeah. So it's funny that relationship did not last long after I started a business, but whatever.
That's
Whatever.
another
Yeah.
podcast.
I told you I was going to tell all the secrets. Anyways, it was very quickly like I moved fast. So like
Okay.
between having this conversation and then launching the brand and putting in my 2 weeks notice, it was less than I think 4 weeks, maybe six.
Okay.
Like it was
So
pretty
you
quick.
just went in, like you just said, I'm just doing it. Did
Yep.
you have any idea what you're getting yourself into?
No,
Mm.
absolutely not. But I had created a safety net for myself because I had like zero expenses. Like the RV was paid off. I had like $250 in lot rent at this
Okay.
RV park I was staying at. I had a paid off car. Like it was food, gas, and lot rent. Like I could
Okay.
not have been in a better position to just burn the bridges or burn the boats, try a new thing. Yes. So I put in my 2 weeks notice. This was like November of 2017. So
Okay.
by, I would say by like August of 2018, there was no money. There was no
Mhm.
savings. There was no nothing. And so I was having hard conversations with myself of you're either going to do this or you got to go get a job. That was the conversation internally. And so I told myself, I was like, I just want to try a little bit longer. And so I'm piecing together ramen noodles. I'm piecing together money to pay the phone bill, like whatever. And
Could
I
I just
come
ask you a
across,
quick clarifying question?
yes, absolutely.
So when you first started, did you just kind of put out a shingle, throw out some stuff on Facebook? Like, how did you start the business? Did you even know what you were supposed to do?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Oh God, I'm gonna be spilling all of my secrets that I should not be saying. So for me, it was like, oh, Facebook page, easy. Instagram page, easy. There was no logo design. There was no marketing. There was no
Yeah.
website. There was no like all of these other things that now I'm like, oh my God. Like I see other people starting business. I'm like, you just have a Facebook page? What?
Yeah, right.
Not to judge you, but come on, we're gonna do more than that. It also just in this day and age, like it doesn't work like that. We can't get away with that anymore.
Why not?
No. So I did not, again, I'm just going to spill all my secrets. Like, I am still a sole proprietor. I have
Yeah.
considered toying around, moving everything to an LLC. It was just easier this way. And like, our accountant has everything set up to where this is just simpler and easier. So that really hasn't changed. It took me like 2 years to get insurance. Like,
Okay.
I organized in clients' homes for 2 years without insurance. And
Mhm.
luckily, nothing ever happened. But finally, I was like, this isn't logical. And of course, like I have a background in risk management.
Right. That is kind of ironic.
Like I knew the risk and I was just like, we're just gonna ignore that. I'll take my chances there, which was probably not wise. And so I wouldn't say I even like built my website on Wix. Like I threw together some janky logo on Canva that
Okay.
had no no recognition. I see it sometimes and I was like, oh God, that what is that? So it probably wasn't till so like this is also very pivotal because 2018, hard year, like no money coming in. I'm spending all my savings just surviving. It is sometime in 2019 that I find Jen in Pro Organizer Studio. And back then there was a free Facebook group. Oh man, that free Facebook group was like the Wild West.
Yeah, I've heard
It
about
was
it. Yeah, like
it
when I
was
first started with Jen, she told me about a little about it, and it sounded like that.
it was a lot. And there's days where I'm like, oh, this would be such like a needed resource for people, but then I'm like, oh, I see some of the other free Facebook groups in the organizing
Yeah,
world. I'm like, what is being posted right now? But
there's a lot.
yeah, so Fine Gin 2019. Of course, like I have no money. Like I am broke. And I'm not, family was working, like they were trying to support occasionally, but I'm also an adult. Like I'm 20 something years old. I'm supposed to support myself, but I'm not married. There's no backup plan. It's like me or nothing. And I decided like I'm gonna figure out a way to invest in Inspired Organizer. It was right after she rebranded from Masterclass. And so I ended up booking a pantry job and it was like $1,200. And I was like, I already know where 1,000 of this is going. Like I know immediately where this is going, which also I'm talking about this circa 2019 and like
Yeah.
prices for Inspired Organizer have not raised hardly at all.
No, we just raised it from 9.97 not that long ago.
Yep.
We have purposely tried to keep it extremely affordable because we know that even if you have an established business, sometimes margins are
Yep.
thinner or you have a kind of a bleak month. And it's really important to us that we don't price ourselves out. I mean, there are coaches that charge $10,000 and we're just not
Yeah.
ever, I'm never going to be comfortable being that person.
Yeah, that's totally fair. It's also just crazy to me. Like you think of like inflation and all the other things that
Oh,
have
absolutely.
changed. And I'm like, people don't realize when they like join IO, I'm like, you don't realize this is what we paid 7 years ago.
Yeah, right, right. It's a little higher now, but not by a lot, you guys.
Yeah.
So,
No, not at all.
yeah.
So I already kind of had that money pre-planned. And this is, I want to bring attention to this because I had decided like that money was going to Inspired Organizer, hands
Mhm.
down. I buy into the course, I get into the Facebook group, I start going through the course, all these things. There is literal energetics. And I don't know how to explain it without sounding like crazy woo-woo. But there was literal energetics of as soon as I invested in myself, as soon as I decided to start taking myself seriously, as soon as I decided like I want more for me, for the brand, for my business, God, universe, spirit, whatever you want, whoever you're talking to is bet, let's go. And so like within a 4 week time frame of pantry job, barely is going to cover bills. I decide I'm going to pull back the $1,000. I'm going to invest in Inspired Organizer. I start going through courses within the first, handful of days. We ended up booking like 10 consults after that, all within the same month. And I'm like, God, this has never happened before,
What's happening? Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And so it's just energetics. Like anytime like I have made the decision to invest in myself in some form or capacity, like it always has come back. And I would say some people say like sevenfold, tenfold. Oh, I would say like hundredfold, like
Yeah.
easily. If I can literally translate the amount of dollars our business has made since joining Inspired Organizer, it's responsible for over $2 million, hands
Oh
down.
yeah, I was gonna say it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it's not. It's really
It's
for
more.
you, it's literally millions.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that's
And I'll just argue too, even if your business, even if you have a small business by choice or preference, if you have a $30,000 business, pay us
mhm.
$1,000, you have a $30,000 business. That's about as good of a return on investment as you're going to find.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's just set the scene here. This is 2019. This is like
Yes.
late 2019. We're hustling, we're doing all the things, like things are starting to pick up. I did a couple, this is my first, I guess, my first opportunity for a team. I had two mission trips planned that year, one in June and early or late June, early July, one in December. And so like I'm piecing together some help to like, while I'm gone, because it's a 2.5 week trip, I'm like, while I'm gone, could you handle XYZ? And so this is my first like dipping my toes into team stuff. Fast forward, fast forward to March 13th, Friday the 13th, 2020. All
I
hell breaks
remember
loose.
it quite well.
I was sitting at my sister's house and the 10 o'clock news comes on and they're talking about these shutdowns and all these things. And I'm like, what's going to happen? I can't go to people's homes. Like, I don't have a business right now. Like, we've had just all this massive success over the last 12 months. What now? After a mild freak out and panic attack, and I just decide, whatever, we're just going to keep going. I could have paralyzed myself. I really could have.
Yeah,
Like, I could have
easily.
just sat in the chaos, but it was like, you know what? Doing something is better than doing nothing. And
Yeah.
so we started doing like recorded podcasts, which it wasn't a podcast. It was just like a Facebook Live with like different people, how they started their business, what that looks like. It was an opportunity to be shareable. It was an opportunity to collaborate. It was an opportunity to continue putting content out there when we couldn't actually be in people's homes. And so for Texas, now I know that this is not like the standard, but for Texas, those shutdown regulations and rules lasted about 8 weeks, if that.
Yeah.
I mean, we
A
still had,
little different in Minnesota.
yes, very much so. And I recognize like that's not the case for everyone, but
Yeah.
people were still calling and they're like, if you're good, come over and do a
You're good, I'm
consult.
good. Yep.
And I'm
Yep.
like, I'm so grateful. Like, I recognize that not everybody had that same experience. And so it took a little while, but things just started to pick back up. And then this was also another, again, strategy is everywhere. If you look close enough, strategy is everywhere. We had gotten a call about a consult. They were getting ready to move. They were already under contract. They had finished like the last little bit of remodel stuff that needed to happen. And she was like, yeah, I've already contacted the movers. They're doing all the move, whatever. And I'm like, wait, movers are not non-essential or they are essential? Like they can move? And she's,
Yeah.
oh yeah, not a problem at all. And I'm like, well, I have moving services now.
Yeah.
She's, do what? And I'm like, we're gonna pack, we'll unpack, we'll do all the things. And so that again, just strategy wise was like, how do we still get out of this cloud of we're not an essential worker? That was the first dip in the toes of relocations and moving projects without even recognizing it and realizing it. So fast forward a little bit. I'm skipping over the boring stuff, but fast forward, Laura joins our team again in 2021. She starts out part-time. She's on just 2 to 3 days a week. And I'm like, great, I'll happily support that. That was October, September, October. Come December, she's, I think I want to put in my 2 weeks notice and go full time. And of course, I'm like, oh, balls. What is,
Oh, crap.
I have
That's
to,
great, except
I now
I
have to
have to support
support,
this. Yeah.
yes, I have to support another human being. And things were not quite consistent enough to feel good about that. But again, energetically, it was like, you know what? We're just gonna figure it out. Like it's just gonna work out some way, somehow. And I will not lie, Lara had a lot. We have like a grocery store here that we would just go sit in their like food court area. And this was before a warehouse or an office or all these things. Like we would just go sit with our laptops. And Lara hustled at the United grocery store with me. Like she would sit, she'd be like, let's post this on social media. Let's do this. Like we're gonna throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. And so now she is like a permanent fixture. I tell everyone, like, if I died tomorrow, like the business is hers. She probably does
She's
more.
so great.
She
She really
probably
is.
does more than I do any given day of the week, if we're being honest. So that's been good. And so we've had a couple other like team members over the years. And so I I do feel like organizing is somewhat of a stepping stone. I think some people find purpose and career in it. I think other people, it's, I'm just going to do this until I figure out what I want to do. I also recognize that there's people who are like, I'm really good at organizing. I want to be an organizer, but it's like, you're really good at organizing your things. You're not good at organizing other people's things, or they get too overwhelmed, like in super cluttery, difficult client situations. And so we've had a lot of those stepping stone people. And so I tell people that. Even if we hire new people, I'm like, try it out for a couple weeks. Make sure you actually like it because it's not all
I say
the
the same thing.
it's
Yeah.
not all the pretty bins, it's not all the matching hangers. Like it's not what people think. And sometimes that's a turnoff, and that's okay.
Yeah. And I think that's really important for all of us. And I did it for myself where I said, oh, I think I'm really going to love this, but I'm going to give myself a year in case I don't, or in
Yep.
case I don't like being an entrepreneur, or there are people who are insanely good at organizing, but they're terrible at running a business.
Yep.
And that's not a value judgment. It's just they really hate all the parts of running a business. There are people that absolutely live and die by running the business, but they don't really want to be in people's homes.
Yep.
And by the way, that can change over time. It has for me. I've had peaks and valleys of what I'm interested in and what is interesting to me. And so knowing yourself and knowing how to deal with those peaks and valleys, and then also not trying to push something
Mhm.
that you can't push, you know?
Yep. Yep. And I mean, I wouldn't say I'm done with organizing, but I was on a client project a month ago and I literally had to pull up our cheat sheet on like our color coding structure because I'm
You
so like
forgot
out
your
of,
own rules.
literally, like I'm so out, like I'm the worst organizer.
Yeah,
And they'll tell me, they will not hold back. They're like, you need to leave. That's not how we
right.
put labels on. And I'm like, oh God,
Someone get the CEO out of this job.
literally. But so Laura came on. We've had all this growth. We've had new team members join us. At some point, I don't know exactly when it happened, something shifted in me. And it suddenly became like, I don't have an organizing business because I love organizing. I have an organizing business because I'm a pretty badass entrepreneur,
Yeah.
period. Period. So, in the midst of that, like mentor stuff is still going on, still operating in the pro organizer studio world. Jacob and I were already dating, but my sister and I found this like side hustle business. Laura and Kelly and I went in together on it. That business is now sold, but it kicked off something new of, oh, I can do more than one thing. And
I
it's like,
don't have to only concentrate on minimize and organize was running very well. Wait a minute, what else is out there?
yes. Well, and it was one of those of, okay, we've seen the success with minimize and organize. How can we replicate it in other areas or other industries? And I use our business as a test dummy for stuff that
Yeah.
we test out in Pro Organizer Studio. So
Oh,
like
absolutely.
applies for me. And so had that business. It is now sold. Jacob and I bought a business together. I'm trying to think. February of 2024.
Are
He
you okay saying
started.
what they are?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
So that's our boxes. We have remove LBK and it's rentable moving crates. So,
Okay, if you I'm just gonna stop you right there because I want people to know, if you do not know what these are, they are magical. They are essentially, instead of going to Home Depot and buying 2,000 moving boxes and getting the tape and all the things, they are literally reusable. movable plastic boxes. You rent them out, people use them for their move, and then they give them back. And it is a genius way to organize a move.
Yes, we love them. And it's kind of funny, like that came about because Minimize and Organize was Remove. It was the biggest customer. And
Yeah.
so, like, when they got ready to offload that, I was like, oh, this just naturally makes sense. Call me first. Well, then
Yeah.
they called me first. And I'm like, oh, crap, we're buying another
Oh, I
business.
guess we're buying a business.
Yeah, literally. So it chaps me, like, makes me a little crazy when we have out of state move or something like that. And I'm like, I have 1,000 of these very gorgeous, pretty stackable, sturdy boxes, and I have to go buy
Yeah.
freaking cardboard from Home
Yeah.
Depot.
The
So,
worst.
one of my goals, like, I would love to see that brand franchise licensed. I would just love to see it all over the United States. So I could
I
just
would love that for
ship my
you.
boxes to Oklahoma and they can handle them there and it would be fabulous. But we're working on it. It's a in progress type thing. So I'm missing over one brand that I oh I don't mean to like skip over it, but it just pairs so nicely with Pro Organizer Studio. Before we bought Remove, we actually had the opportunity to buy Organizer Near Me. And that
Yes.
is an online e-directory where organizers can have a premium profile or they can have a free profile too. But essentially the goal is to help with SEO, it's to be found. There's so much there's honestly so much more there. But when that opportunity was presented, I felt inadequate, like 1000%. And so I was like, Melissa, please come help me. I don't know what
So
I'm
we
doing.
bought that together.
Yeah. Yeah. Could not have done that without you. So I do feel like Organizer Me is the poor little like stepsister to Pro Organizer Studio. Like very closely adjacent and still two separate
Yeah.
brands, but they synergetically like you want to build your business, but then you want to Organizer Me is like, how do we support it from the backside?
Right. Exactly. Well, and it was born out of, we had the opportunity to buy it, but we both believe in it so much because one of the hallmarks of what we do is there are a lot of business coaches out there that are like, well, you just need to manifest your success and then it'll happen. And they don't give you actual, like, by the way, I'm not crappy on manifesting if that's your deal. I'm just saying there are a lot of business coaches that are just like, they will not give you any actual steps to do the thing. They just will tell you have to have a positive mindset or you have to, like, we do not believe in that. We believe in like literally giving you the steps.
Yep.
And we believe in saying, these are the things you need to do. This is the thing you're missing. This is the thing that you're not thinking about. Go do those things and come back to us and let us know how they go. And so, Organizer Near Me is just born out of you and I knowing the way you actually get clients is by going out and presenting yourself to Google and saying,
Mm-hmm.
please send people my way. That
Yep.
is how it works, period, the
Yep.
end. And so that's really important to us
Yep. And it's a piece that people glaze over.
all the
They,
time.
they miss it.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I forgot to mention that one. That's my fault. So that was like November of 20, what year did I say? 24?
24.
Yes. So November 24, we bought Remove in February of 25. And then Jacob started his business September of 25.
And you also got married
Also got married.
in there.
That was 24.
Yes.
Trying to think. I have to look at my tattoo. Yes, we got married in 24.
You have a tattoo to remind you when you got married.
It's so nah, we got matching tattoos like in Roman numerals, but literally people are like, when did you get married? I'm like, I don't know. I
I don't
forgot
know.
to
Gotta look at my
recheck.
arm.
Um, did you ever watch the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake where they had like the
No.
clock in their skin? That's what I
Oh,
it's a whole thing. You should watch that
that
movie. It's
sounds
good.
weird. Okay.
But anyways, yes, got married in the process of all these like endeavors. Which one am I missing? Oh, okay. So the business that I mentioned that we sold, this is a God thing of like, we decided we're gonna sell it. Like we're tapped out. We had a crazy summer. That was 2025. Crazy
That was
summer.
a yard card business. So that was like not organizing related. It was like celebratory things that you would
Yes.
put in people's yards for graduations and birthdays. And
There's another big pivot there. Technically, Yard Card is like service rental based,
yeah,
but
sure.
I like home service. So like Jacob's doing epoxy, we're doing organizing, the boxes are moving adjacent. That's kind of where I'm comfortable in. That
Yeah,
the
that
Yard
helps.
Card was like very creative visually, and I'm like, that's not me. I
Yeah.
recognize that. And so once I finally realized it, I was like, yeah, I'm bored with this. Like I don't. And so we started talking about selling. We ended up having a buyer when we got ready to sell, which this is another thing like people don't realize you can sell your business. Some people just shut the
Absolutely.
doors and move on. And I'm like, nope, we're going to make some money. We had physical product. And so that was part
Sure.
of it. But we sold that business for a pretty penny. Like it was well worth it. But the timing of it was kind of fascinating because we started this conversation on selling this business. Well, about that time is whenever you said casually, very like on a Zoom, you were like, what are your thoughts on maybe doing some more with Program Studio? And I was like, yes, I should probably talk to my husband, but yes.
Yeah.
And so we had that conversation, all this stuff is happening, and it was like a 3 week time period. And then the buyer of the business is like, great, we're gonna have a check for this Friday. And I'm like, go, okay, we're moving. Like we've been just waiting. And she's like, nope, we're ready. We've got the money. We're gonna do all the things. And then literally like the same day or the next day, Melissa's, okay, here's the numbers. Here's what this looks like. Are you ready? And I'm like,
Yeah.
this could not have been more perfectly planned and
It
designed.
all aligned.
So
Yeah.
that was late last year. And then I don't know, 2026 was off to like a rocky start. It like
2026 has
personally.
been yeah, 2026 has been a little bit of a weird year so far. Not
Yes.
bad, just weird.
Yes. And so I I don't know. We have so many ideas. And again, this is where I'm like, there's a lot of things that are being tested behind the scenes that no one ever sees. But there's a lot of opportunity coming to market in the Pro Organizer Studio world that we recognize like the landscape of business in general is changing. The landscape when it comes to SEO and AI and generative engine optimization, like we recognize all those things are changing. We're on the front lines of it too. And so it's like, how do we do the heavy lifting? How do we do the hard part to then say, inspired organizers, here's our community. How can we help bridge the gap and make that easier? How can we make this not a complete heartache on you? Because I mean, we do. We learn things the hard way. But if we can
Oh, for
save
sure.
all of our people all that heartache, like that's the goal.
And it's born out of we're all running our own businesses as well. I mean, I think that's something that's really important is that we know that these things are working because that's what we are doing in our businesses. You are running a $500,000 a year organizing business. You know what works for teams, for other things.
Hmm.
We know these things because we're doing them. We're not just theoretically like finding them, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of the things that I wanted to do is bring you on into Pro Organizer Studio because I'm someone who I thrive, being alone and I thrive at actually being a solopreneur. But you do need, in the same way we talked earlier about outside perspectives on business, it's so helpful to have someone come in and I'm like, tear it apart. Tell me, and it's not going to hurt my feelings. Tear it apart from an outsider insider perspective. It's like a combo platter, right? And
Yeah.
so that's one of the things that I just want to encourage everyone to do. Even if you're not going to actually have a partner in your business, bring someone in and like a friend, a family member, someone that is going to give you perspective on your own stuff. And that's why I'm excited to have you be a part of what I'm trying to build here at Pro Organizer Studio.
I just assumed it was after the millions of messages of me like, hey, can we do this? Hey, what about this? Hey, what about I don't know.
Right. Well,
There
it
was
was that too.
there was a lot. But no,
Yeah.
okay, so this is also kind of the magic. Like you and me and Lara, I have several different people in my life that we just have different perspectives or we have different operating styles. And
Yes.
so it's I don't know, it's a blessing and a curse almost in the same sense of just having someone who can see things differently than you. You
Totally.
see, some people see strategy, some people see gaps, some people can tie things back to a more emotional side, some people see it from the back end, operations. I don't know. It's really important to have those different points of view and people that you trust that you can be like, hey, like you said, I built this thing, but it's not working or something feels off. Do we need to burn it down or start over? Or is this
Yeah.
something we can easily fix?
Because there have been times where I've come to you and I've said, I think we should burn it to the ground and start over. And you're like, there is no need for that. Like, where is this energy coming from? And I'm just like, oh, I thought that you would be like, yeah, let's burn it down. And you're like, no, I think it's good to have that because sometimes, like, when I'm in my own head, things either make so much sense or no sense at all. And I know I talked about this a few weeks ago when you and I were together, but I brought something to you about Home by 11 and you're like, why are you even overcomplicating it? You're just really thinking way too hard about this. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I am. It's just really helpful. And the point is that it's going to bring better things to organizers. And one of the things that you also have to realize is where are your flat spots? And I totally recognize that I have flat spots around, whether it's pricing or obviously your experience on teams is something that I don't have. And I want you to bring one of the things you've built for our teams course is literally, I think it's an 87-page playbook of processes, procedures, things like that. Like you do not have to recreate you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just take the things we have built that are very successful for a $500,000 business and apply it to your own. And that I think is a magic that is unparalleled.
Can I tell you that 86-page document? Like, there's a lot in there. It's a lot of good stuff. But
It's a
there's
lot.
like at least once a day that I'm like, oh, that's not in there. We should definitely add that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you said too, didn't you also say recently that with your team, you've realized like there were some things that you were kind of over processing and you're like, oh, we
Absolutely.
can way simplify this.
Yes. We were talking about that on the call last night because we talked about building out this very extensive inventory system, but
Yeah.
like it would take me longer to manage said inventory system than it would be for just like holding the 20 to 30 products that we like to have on hand and then them
Yeah.
just sending me the receipt. And I can do the math. And like it takes a little bit more time on my part, but not near as much time as it would if we had a full inventory system. And so I'm like, that's the process. If you
Yeah.
pull it from the warehouse, you document it. If you go buy it at Target, you document it and you send me the receipt.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Right. Well, and I just think that's the magic too of having, we talk about community and I sometimes those are just buzzwords that people I think don't really connect with. It's a random word like no, we have really built a community that people genuinely help each other and
Yes.
that there is no gatekeeping. There is no, oh, well, I do this. Like I've said this a million times. I help other organizers that are right in my backyard that are competing against me, right? I don't care about that. We're just building things and giving things to people so that you do not have to do it. And
Yes.
that I love a cheat code. And I did not have that when I built my business. And you didn't have it when you built your business.
No.
And I love being able to do that for people.
I also think that's part of the magic. Like, I haven't had to go through like the core foundations of Inspired Organizer in the near recent future, but it's because like I use that to set the foundations and they're great and they're fabulous.
Yeah.
And so now it's like I'm interior decorating the inside of my business
Yeah.
with all these other fun things like, different marketing strategies or different team
Yeah.
strategy. That's to me the fun of once it's set, like it's solid. Like I don't have to go
Yeah.
back and burn it down and rebuild it and anything like that. Like I can try on things, I can take them off. And
Yeah.
I tell my team now, I'm like, we're going to try this thing. And if you love it, great. If you hate it, that's fine. But same applies in the business on the back end things. Like, even if you're a solo organizer, you can take some of the strategies that are outlined and be like, we're going to see. Like, we had someone, there was a comment the other day that someone's like getting leads really consistently and well from Pinterest. And I'm like, Pinterest
Yeah.
is a search engine and
It
we
is.
preach it, but I've never had somebody get this many leads from Pinterest. And so that's to me, that's where my brain's okay, how do we recreate this so that all of our organizers in the community can also be having leads delivered to them directly from Pinterest?
And your point about the foundation is true because what I see a lot is people haven't set their foundation right. Like they have been decorating the house before they have built the foundation.
Yep.
And once you set that concrete, you do not have to change it. Your house
No.
doesn't shift, like you set it, you might have to maintain it a little bit, but you're not going to redo it. And then like you said, you get to do the fun stuff. Like painting the walls is fun, putting up pictures is fun. Go do the fun stuff,
Yep.
but don't set those foundations well. And what we find is there are people that have been running their businesses for a long time that still don't have their foundations right. And that's the first thing we always want to work on.
But playing out this house metaphor, like if you don't have a good foundation, everything else starts to crumble around it. And
Yes.
they see that. I mean, you can be somebody who is a veteran organizer, 10 years in the business, but because those foundations were never set or set correctly, they're like, well, why isn't this working? Why is this falling apart? Why did I have to refund this client? And I'm like, we could fix all this very easily, very
Yes.
simply.
Yes. Just had to interrupt the podcast to take sourdough out of the oven. It's very important things going on. We really should do a podcast where we don't edit anything and
Oh,
everybody just gets like the full behind the scenes, like
people would die with our chaos.
ADHD. veering off, like children coming in, dogs barking, all the things. Anyway, but there are so many pieces of that community too that, like last night, we had someone come on and say, I want you to tell me to get my shit together. That was literally her quote. And she needed someone to give her a little bit of, like, literally, we said, why haven't you fired this client? You're asking us to tell you it's okay to fire this client, and we're giving you that permission.
Yeah.
And that, like, it's just building those muscles by hearing from other people. The world isn't going to collapse if you fire a client.
Yeah.
Your business is not going to fail because you raised your price. There's someone in our group that we yelled at, you and I collectively yelled at for literally like 8 months to raise her prices. And she didn't want to, and she didn't want to. And she came on our call last month and she said, I raised my prices and I had 35 consults in April.
That is huge. That is
She doesn't
absolutely
have time to do anything except for go to consults.
literally. That, I mean, people don't realize how much time that takes.
Yes.
But no different than, tell me what I need to do. Having that community, having someone just to bounce ideas off, or like a gut check of, hey, am I
Yeah.
crazy, or is this like off base? Or it's not like the things that we talk about are already in the course, but like the community is the added perspective. Like even me who has a team, there's times that it gets lonely. There is times
Yeah.
whenever I am too far in my own head, in my own business, doing my own thing, that I'm like, I just need that second set of eyes, that other
Totally.
outside perspective. So,
Yeah. But I'm so excited and I wanted people to know who you were because you've been on the podcast a ton of times, but I think we talk sometimes about all the other things you do, but one of the things that I love about you is you are just like, oh, I think I'm just going to go buy this business. Oh, I think I'm going to go start this thing. Oh, like you say yes and then figure it out. And I love that as just a strategy. And it doesn't always work, right? Like I've done things that don't work as well. Or, you and I have had things that we're like, oh, we really need to tweak this because it's not going as well as we think it is. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, right?
yeah.
There are that you realize yard card wasn't you're like, oh, this doesn't really align with what I want to do. This is, I want to be in home services. Here's what I'm good at. Here's how I can structure that. And you just that honing that over time, I think is so important.
Yeah. Well, and I'm really excited. So there's things that we're working on and that are in progress that I recognize as gaps in the marketplace. Like
Yeah,
things that for organizers don't exist. And I'm like, it would be so nice to just make this a thing. And
totally.
so that is another, it's that little superpower. Like it doesn't matter if it's strategic necessarily, but like the pattern recognition of like, this is a problem and we have a very easy way to fix this. And that way everyone can win.
Yeah.
I mean, what did I sent you like 20 different product ideas that I'm like, Pro
Yeah.
Organizer Studio needs all of these things. And
Yeah.
there's a part of me that's one of these days I'm just gonna spitball all of them out and I just want to see what everybody says. Whatever they're
Yeah.
most curious about, whatever they're most interested about, the one that's like, oh, I need this. I'm like, great, that's where we're gonna start because
Yeah.
there's too many ideas almost at this point.
There are so many ideas. And that is so it's interesting. So this is the 10th year of Pro Organizer Studio. Like a lot of people maybe don't know that. It's been around for 10 years. So it's a decade old. It's in fifth grade. And I always think about it in school terms. So, but yeah, it's about to be middle school. It's about to get a real attitude. But over 10 years, like when I look at, when Jen first started it in 2016 and where it was versus what it is now, and I'm just excited that there are these resources out there because I don't want people to feel alone and I don't want people to feel like they have to struggle. And I want people, the reason we talked earlier about we've kept our pricing not out of control. There are some coaches I think that have completely ridiculous amount, like they're asking a ridiculous amount of money for what they do. And I just think it's so important for us to be able to say, we want you to be able to pay for this with
Hmm.
one client session, literally one,
Yep.
and then you're done and you're with us for as long as you want to be here.
Yep.
And that is something that we're going to continue to do and we're going to continue to grow stuff. And I don't have to do it alone. I can do it with you.
I am really excited about that part because
Thank you.
one of my deep underlying passions of a lot of the things that I do is I selfishly want to make a shit ton of money, but
Me too.
like unselfishly, I also want everyone else to as well. And
100%.
so if I have the confidence in myself to do it, like I can just loan you that confidence and we're going to get
Yeah,
you there.
absolutely. We are. Well, if you were talking to someone who isn't feeling super confident about where they are in business or is really wondering, hey, how do I get the confidence to you have 6 brands underneath you or whatever? What would you tell someone about how to increase that in themselves? What are some simple things they could do?
Oh my gosh. I've told you about Steve, the guy, the white-haired guy, middle-aged C-level executive that lives in my brain?
No, I did not know you had an alter ego.
Okay. So I call him just mediocre white man. I don't
Okay.
mean that as bad as it sounds, but I have worked under men and men typically don't overthink things like women do.
Oh, they don't know.
And
Yeah.
so in my head, I have Steve who lives there.
Okay.
And it's what would Steve do? And Steve is not going to criticize. Steve is not going to be like, oh, well, maybe they didn't like you because you didn't have the right
Oh,
answer, or maybe you didn't wear
yeah.
the right clothes. Steve doesn't care. Steve's go out and make the sale, go out and do the thing. And so like sometimes I have to channel that not existent person of I'm overthinking things, I'm too close to it, it's emotional, like I need to strip all that away and I just need to take action
Yeah.
on what I need to do. And so that is one of those fake it till you make it is like another good one that I do believe in, but like for some people that's really hard. And so it's like
Sure.
it doesn't come natural. It's literally is like Steve says, go close the consult. I just
Yeah.
go do it. Like it's not about me. Like I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't say the wrong thing. I didn't wear the wrong thing. Like it's not has nothing to do. It's like I just need to do as if I were not the boss, someone else was. That's been a really good one for me, especially when it comes to taking risks because
Yeah.
suddenly it doesn't feel so personal. This is my baby. This is my child. This is my, my business is my so important to me. It takes away that pressure almost to where it's just do the thing. Don't
Yeah.
overthink it. So that's a good one. Like I said, fake it till you make it. I put myself in a lot of rooms that I felt inadequate or unqualified for, but it was just like plaster on a smile and you're building the wings on the way down. That was
Yeah.
literally like, if I can figure out a way to compliment your shoes to get started in a conversation at a networking
Mhm.
event, like that's a win for me. You know,
Yeah.
conversation dies down. I'm like, it was so nice meeting you. I'm done. I'm walking away. I'm going to go find someone else and compliment her shoes. And so those are just like little things that it also like confidence, money mindset, some of these other like very abstract concepts that you need to perform well and be a good business owner, they are muscles that you flex. And so the first time you walk into the room, it's going to feel really uncomfortable. But the second time, it's going to just feel a little less uncomfortable. And then the third time, a little less, a little less. And then, 10, 20 instances down the road, like you may be speaking at the front of that room.
Yeah.
And so it's a muscle. You have to strengthen that muscle. You have to flex that muscle. It's going to feel a little weird at first, but I mean, I would say that nothing bad has happened anytime I have tried to shoot for the stars. So,
Yeah. I was talking to an organizer friend today, and she was looking for a donation for some, like a charitable thing she was doing. And she's, I think I'm going to ask XYZ store. And in my head, I was like, there is a 0% chance that is going to happen. Good luck. I hope it goes well for you, but there's no way this chance. It's that the TikTok sound from Schitt's Creek, like, you are not getting tickets to that show.
yep,
Guess what? They said yes.
that's awesome.
And they gave her kids' elementary school a ton of stuff. And I was like, listen, I don't know that I would have even made the ask.
Mm,
That's the truth. And so you are absolutely right. Sometimes it's just make the ask. And if they say no, you just go, okay, cool. But
yeah.
what if they say yes? What if that first client says yes? What if that 55th client says yes? What if the client with the 20,000 square foot house says yes? What if the $20,000 job says yes? It's that. And
I
I
have,
just see so much good stuff.
yes, I have literally convinced myself that like statistically, it can't always be no. And so like I just have to
Yeah.
figure out my numbers for what that yes is. And for some reason, that gives me just like a little bit of hope when I'm trying those
Yeah.
off the wall weirdo things. I'm like, literally not everybody's gonna say no.
Here
Someone
is,
will say yes. I just have to find
yeah.
that person.
Well, you're playing the numbers game. I play a little different game, which is because I'm always trying to find things that make myself laugh. And one of the things that I think about a lot is, okay, so we're all irritated. Every single one of us is super irritated by all the spam calls we get, all the spam emails we get, I mean, my voicemail is littered with people going, your Google business profile is going to be suspended. By the way, they're all scams. Please don't ever answer those calls. But why do those calls come? Those calls come because someone says yes. It works for someone. Someone is, oh my gosh, my Google business profile is about to be suspended. Of course, I'll pay you $1,000 a month. Now, do I want anyone to say yes to that? Of course, I don't. But someone's saying yes.
Hmm.
And so you are absolutely right. It's just what's the worst thing they can say? No.
Yep.
And you move on. And it's not personal. It's not about you. And I think that's the biggest thing that when you talk about Steve in your brain, women take things more personally. It just is how it is. And I love that idea about getting out of your own brain. And that's one of the things we like to help people do.
Yeah. We're actually pretty good at it.
We are
We're
actually.
we're really good at it.
You know how we said earlier, like everything is sales? It is. Like we want you to be in our group. We want you to be able to come in and we want you to be wildly successful. I want to be talking about you on the podcast as someone who had a $50,000 month with the team. I want you to be the person as a solo organizer who just had a $12,000 month. And by the way, I know that organizer pretty well, and she has really good boundaries about family time and everything else. She's not
Oh,
working 7 days a week, but she made $12,000 last month. So
yep.
I want that for people. I really do.
Yep.
So
We really do want more for some people than they want for
I do.
themselves.
100%. I celebrate our people way more than I know they celebrate themselves.
Yeah.
And I know we have people that come into us and tell us things that they probably haven't told their families and
Yep.
they won't celebrate on their own, but we will celebrate with you. So,
We should start asking that. Be like, have you told your husband?
yeah, right.
Are other
Your
people
kids
closest
know
to
about
you?
this? Do your children know that you have done this amazing thing? Yeah, tell
Uh-huh.
your friends. Shout from
Yep.
the rooftops. What's next for you? What do you see as the rest of the year?
Man, so like I said, this year has been off to a very slow start. And it
It has.
was more personal and just like energetic, like hormones. That's just me, literally as a human being. Like I've just been off. And so I'm really excited. My goal would be there's three products that I think could come to the marketplace within the Pro Organizer Studio umbrella this year. They would be huge. And so I think just like doubling down on those and making sure that they're fleshed out and ready to go. They
And by the way, if you have an idea, throw it our way
I
because
was about to say,
who knows?
we have someone that is, we need to send a course format. And so, like, the outline's there. We
Yeah.
just haven't recorded the videos. There hasn't been time. But
Yeah.
like I said, there's so much opportunity and so many good voices to learn from and hear from that it would just make life easier. If we just could get all the things on our end, like, ready to go, finished up, wrapped up, add a bow, put it under the Christmas tree, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
that's my goal is like using time this year to get those three things like really squared away and feeling good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm really seeing this as okay, we're starting fresh. We're building all this fun stuff, and I'm excited for the rest of the year. I am locked in, as the kids would say.
Locked in.
Locked in.
I feel like I got a little bit of confidence, not maybe not confidence, a little bit of encouragement just because we had such a slow year. That wasn't just me. Like I was personally having a slow year,
Yeah.
but some of our other organizers were having slow years or starts to the year, like in
January and
business.
February was
Yep.
rough. Yeah.
And so like March, April, just like we have quite a bit of momentum and we have quite a bit of movement and it's all positive.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm drawing that energy from other people right now. And now I'm like, okay, here's all the things that we're doing. Like, y'all are going to be so excited.
Well, and it does feel like that. Like we've had so many people giving us good news because like January and February was pretty rough, like for a
Yeah.
lot of people. I think it was like universally not a great couple of months. And now we have all these people coming in being like, hey, guess what? And sometimes they say it quietly, hey, I don't want to jinx it. But I've got this and this and this and this happening. And people who have crazy amounts of, it's not just the one that we were talking about that had 35 consults. We have other people that have been in the 20 and 30 consult category. Like a lot of people are starting to come out, and I think you're right. Like it does kind of feed on it. You're like, oh my gosh, well, they're having all the success over here. I need to go do that. But we're going to be honest with you too about we all have peaks and valleys. You and I have peaks and valleys in our energy, our enthusiasm, family stuff, whatever. Real life intrudes sometimes, and we're realistic about that too. I hate toxic positivity. I've said that. I hate people that are just yay raw for no reason. Let's acknowledge that there's a hard time and then figure out how we can move past it too. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree.
Well, I'm just excited. I say this a lot, but one of the things that I love about you is I always say I'm actually old enough to be your mother and it wouldn't have been a scandal. You are significantly younger than I am. And I love that because when I think about like where you are now, I think about, oh my gosh, when Cabri's my age, like what insane things is she going to be able to do? And I'm excited to have a backseat, like a little backseat to watch. So,
I have no idea what it looks like, but I also am excited for this
yeah,
arbitrary future for sure.
it's going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
So. Okay. I'm just excited to have you with me because you're one of my favorite people on the whole planet.
Well, thank you.
And I'm
I
excited for other people to
appreciate
know you too.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that I get to do this alongside you.
Yeah, me too. Well, thank you. Thanks again to my friend and co-conspirator, partner in crime, all of the things, Cabri, for being here today. And once again, hit us up at proorganizerstudio.com/links. By the way, if you are someone who likes to read instead of listen, we always have a full transcript of every episode. We have lots of different things on our website that you can use in your business, and hit us up there if you ever need anything. Hope you have a great day, organizers.